Good morning, viewers at home. Welcome to Express Politics on TVRC. I am Oyedokun Samuel Adedoyin. And my guest today is Mr. Akintunde Sanmi Vincent. He's a renowned seasoned author and educationist and a very good philosopher. Welcome to the studio with me, sir.
Thank you very much.
And welcome. This is the sound of the democracy we had yesterday. He's a very patriotic citizen of the country. And the topic before us today says June 12th. Have we learned any lesson? Have we learned any lesson so far concerning June 12th, which we had in 1993? That is 29 years ago, and we are still celebrating it up to date. And that is why we have this renowned guest in our midst today. So help us to throw and shed a lot of light on what has been going on in the country and the emergency of and the state of emergency and insecurity in this country. And my guest, sir, you're welcome once again.
Thank you.
Please, can you tell us what led to the emergence of June 12th?
Okay. Good day, viewers at home, and happy Democracy Day. Yeah, straight to your question. The emergence of Democracy Day could be traced to the annulment of the 1993 election by the military junta of Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. He annulled the election, and he handed over, he placed the government in the hands of an interim government of then the Shoneka. So that was actually what led to the emergence of the democracy day that we have today, the June 12th election, the June 12th Democracy Day.
Okay, thank you very much, as we have heard from him. Since that 1993, you should take a critical look at it with what has been going on in this country, the state of insecurity and the rest and blah 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 and the rest. Please, is there anything even to celebrate in this Democracy Day, which is a June 12th? Is there anything to celebrate? Do we have any cause, joy to celebrate this June 12th per se?
In my opinion, of course, there's something we all should celebrate, and that is the gift of life. Wow. But outside the gift of life, I don't think anything is worthy of celebration as regards the governance of this country. Don't forget that traveling from Abuja to Kaduna is becoming a nightmare for the passengers because of banditry. Our roads are becoming a death trap where you every day, even yesterday, from Lagos to Ibadan Express Road, 18 passenger bus had an accident with a truck where 4 people died on instantly. They died. 4 died instantly. 3 died, 3 male and 1 female, while the rest of them were hospitalized. Our roads are death traps. Our hospitals, they are nothing to write home about. And those leaders are comfortably, good number of them, they travel abroad for their own health checkup, why they refuse to take care of our own hospitals. Our schools are becoming kidnappers then. In short, most parents now are praying for their kids in their schools. This has been a trajectory in the country. So what is there for us to celebrate? In my opinion, if there's something we should celebrate, it's the grace we receive from God as regards the gift of life. But anything outside that is nothing.
So why celebrating in the country right now is the gift of life, the grace that God has given us to be surviving all the things that have been going around in this country. And I know that Nigeria will be great one day. Okay, with all these things that we have the aforementioned, the security, the unemployment, all the rest, what brought us into this mess?
Okay, thank you again. Why we are actually in this mess is not far-fetched. Number one, it's as a result of poor leadership.
Okay.
Poor leadership, backed with a terrible constitution. Okay, not until we are able to do justice to this current constitution, the country will still be in the same mess. Like I said, poor leadership, number one, poor leadership Number two, poor leadership. Number three, backed with a constitution that serves the interest of few. In short, we're supposed to wish our leaders happy plutocracy day instead of happy democracy day, because this is a government of some few that are milking the economy of this country. They look for a very long pipe and they put it into the milk and honey of this country, and they are all putting everything into their tummy. And don't forget, that tummy will definitely get distorted, and because that tummy will definitely be the one to send them into their on time. Let not be pessimistic. I don't want to be pessimistic about it, because this is becoming a pathetic situation, because this country we cannot afford to continue. We cannot afford to continue living in a country where we have people that are not really, that are so careless, that don't really that only serve the interest of their pocket and their well-being. And I know we're still going to pinpoint on the 2020.
Thank you very much on that. Yes, we have been hearing our guest from home here in the studio with me, Mr. Akintunde Vincent. He has been shedding light on some of these stuff. And but you talked about, you said the mayors, we are in the mayor because of the government, the leadership. And I want us to know that this leadership is talking about is not mainly on the national level alone. You take it from the local governments to states and to the federal level. And I know we should do something concerning that. Okay, now let's digress down to the insecurity in this country. We know what we have been facing. We know what the citizens of the country is now facing. Now our life and properties are not even secure now again. Now, to you, is the state of insecurity in Nigeria a pointer of a failure state, or what?
Yes, like you said, it's just a pointer to the failure of the government, because the primary duty of the government is to secure life and property. When the life are not secured, when properties are not secured, it shows a kind of we cannot give it any kind of colorization. It shows nothing less than it shows failure. It's a total failure on the part of the government. So, if recently we heard about what happened in Owo massacre,
yes.
Okay, and not just Owo massacre alone. When you look at the hassle, they are still very much at home. Okay, just to digress a little bit, the Kankara boys, the Chibok girls, these are strategic kidnapping that has actually took place in this country, and all those who are part of those that anomalies, those who orchestrated that attack, so many of them are still, working freely in this country. Those who killed in Owo, they are still very much working in this country. So even some of the girls that were abducted in Chibok, some of them are still very much in captivity. So what are we saying? This is a mess. This is a kind of a sign of total failure from the side of the government. And not until they rise up, even the military, in my opinion, has been infiltrated. Because so many of these bushes, we had a kind of kidnapping happening in a particular area, and another person will tell you that there is a military checkpoint not far from that area. So what is it not logical to say that our military they've also compromised the situation?
Well, with this whole point, we know that the insecurity of in this country has been pointing to a failure in the state, that is in the state from our leaders. So the insecurity, because in any country that your life and properties is not being secure, that is what is bad, because the government we have, that is what they are here to protect, the citizen and the property of this country. Now let's digress to economic state of this country. I don't know. We have things are inflating every day when it comes to economics in Nigeria. So, what is your take on economics since the inception of this democracy? Are we going up or what? What is it?
Well, it's, in my own simple opinion, is that things are actually moving from bad to worse. Because at the point in time in this country, let me use a kind of instance. Okay, let me cite some instances. Petrol was sold for 25 naira in this country, and the same petrol is sold for how much? For virtually, if you go to the fuel pump, the fuel station now, you see, if you're able to get for 160, you are lucky. because the price is actually at 165, even some sold for, it still sells for 170. So what I'm saying is, things has always been moving from frying pan to fire as regards the state of our economy. Don't forget that at the point in time in this country, rice is sold for 7,000 naira.
Yes,
the same bag of rice now is now 30,000 naira. So what are we celebrating? When ordinary flour that they used to buy for very minute, now it's now the price is now magnanimous. So what are we celebrating? So the economy is also a point and indicator to the failure of the government.
Okay, thank you very much. It means that with all these points, with the situation of the economics in the Nigeria, economics meltdown, it does not showcase that democracy has any impact. Thank you very much. With all this view and with all these points, what do you think is the way forward? Because we must have a way forward for all this tragedy in the country.
Number one, the way forward is that this constitution we should disband this constitution. I don't want to hear any grammar, or I don't want to hear somebody saying no. It was some people contributed to the development of the constitution, and so the constitution is still good. All that needs to be done is to amend it. No, let's not amend it, because this constitution was given to this country during the military regime. It was backed and supervised by the military.
But some are re-amended in 1999.
No, that's what I'm saying. You cannot keep on building on the wrong foundation.
Okay.
You cannot build a skyscraper on the very foundation that is very terrible. Okay. If not, in the very short time, it's going to collapse.
Okay.
So the point I'm making is the constitution should be disbanded. Should be disbanded, and in short, the constitution should be taken totally expunged, and new one should be created. And number two is that the number of security operatives of working in this country, they are minute. They are very minute. They should do well to employ youth that are capable. They should employ youth that are capable to take charge of the security of this country. The number of UK police, the number of police in UK, they are near the population of UK, and that's why their security is excellent. So if we want to emulate them, what is wrong in employing youth that are even hoping to get something to do in the first place? Youth that are looking for a job to do, why not employ them and let them know that their life will be secure? It is not that you join army army should not be a death sentence. Okay? And again, the institutions are very weak. The judiciary, the legislature, the INEC, our institutions are too weak. So we need to strengthen our institution. And until we do this, then the constitution, the democracy will still be in the kind of a shambles.
Okay. Finally, I want to ask this question just in 2 words. Do you think that youth can actually have their way in Nigerian politics at the end of the day in Nigerian government? Do you think youth can have their way?
And I will use a simple analogy that what happened to the Indibu during the APC primary may eventually happen to the youth if they are not careful. Because during the APC primary, the Indigbos failed to organize themselves together. They failed to support themselves, and that was why the Yorubas outsmarted them with the likes of the governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi stepping down, Bankole stepping down, Akpabio from Akwa Ibom stepping down for Tinubu. The same thing, if the youth are able to put themselves together, they are able to see themselves as a formidable force, then they will take out this leadership.
All right, thank you very much. I'm very happy. Good having you in our studio today. But before we go, please, what is your advice to the youth and to all Nigerians in quotes concerning the upcoming election in 2020?
I'll just advise them to get their PVC. Okay. Get your PVC. You cannot send away bad leadership, or you cannot send away poor leaders on social media. You can only do that through your PVC.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Akintoye. Yes, we've had him on. He's a renowned educational season author and a very good philosopher. You've had it all. Well, that's a good advice from the studio of TVRC. Get your PVC. That is how you can defend your future. Thank you very much for coming today, and I hope if I call you next time, you'll be available.
Yeah.
So for this program, thank you very much, viewers at home, and thank you for staying with us. Don't go away. Thank you. Bye.